The front tire climbs the curb and the pickup is coming right at me. Acting on instinct alone, I hurl myself over the back of the bench and out of the way. The truck misses the bench by about a centimeter. That's only this big, guys. A centimeter is only as wide as my pinky. That's really close. Oh, sorry, lost my place. There it is. The side mirror knocks my book bag off the armrest, sending it airborne. The contents, binders, papers, pencil case, gym shorts, sneakers, lunch are scattered to the four winds, raining down on the pavement. The pickup screeches to a halt. The driver jumps out and starts rushing after my fluttering stuff. As he runs, papers fly out of his shirt pocket, and he's chasing his own things, not just mine. I join the hunt, and that's when I get my first look at the guy. He's a kid, like around my age. Why are you driving? I gasp, still in shock from the near miss. I have a license, he replies, like it's the most normal thing in the world. No way, I shoot back. You're no older than I am. I'm 14. He digs around in his front pocket and pulls out a laminated card. It's got a picture of his stupid face over the name Parker Elias. At the top of it says, provisional license. Provisional? I ask. Hey, I'm allowed to drive for the family business, he explains. Which is what? A funeral parlor? You almost killed me. Our farm, he replies. I take produce to the market. Plus, I take my Grams to the senior center. She's super old and doesn't drive anymore. I've never met a farmer before. There aren't a lot of them in L.A. I knew Greenwich was kind of the boonies, but I never expected to be going to school with old MacDonald. He hands me my book bag with my stuff crammed in every which way. There's a gaping hole where the mirror blasted through the vinyl. I'm late, he stammers. Sorry about the backpack. He jumps into the pickup, wheels it into a parking space, and races into the building, studiously avoiding my glare. Still, no sign of Step Monster on the horizon. I call again, straight to voicemail. I decide to tackle the school on my own. Maybe I can get a head start filling out forms or something. The office is a madhouse. It's packed with kids who A, lost their schedules, B, don't understand their schedules, or C, are trying to get their schedules changed. And when I tell the harassed secretary that I'm waiting for my parent and or guardian so I can register, she just points to a chair and ignores me. Even though I have nothing against Greenwich Middle School, I decide to hate it. Who can blame me? It's mostly Chauncey's fault. Let's not forget Parker McFarmer and his provisional license. My phone rings. My phone pings. A text from Step Monster. Taking Chauncey to pediatrician. Do your best without me. We'll get there ASAP. That doesn't sound good. The secretary comes in from behind the counter and stands before me frowning. We don't use our phones in school. You'll have to turn that off and leave it in your locker. I don't have a locker, I tell her. I just moved here. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be. She plucks a paper from the sheath sticking out of the hole in my backpack. Well, it's right here on your schedule. Schedule? Where would I get a schedule? I don't even officially go to this school yet. You're supposed to be in room 117. She rattles off a complicated series of directions. Now, off you go. And off I go. I'm so frazzled that I'm halfway down the main hall before I glance at the paper that's supposed to be a schedule. Oh, it's a schedule, all right. Just not mine. Ooh, whose do you think it is? Who should come in contact with? Oh, I think I know. Let's see. Did you guess it? Well, let's see. At the top, it says, Elias Parker, grade 8. This is Parker McFarmer's schedule. It must have gotten mixed up with my papers when we were gathering up all my stuff. I take 3 steps back in the direction of the office and freeze. I don't want to face that secretary again. There's no way she's going to register me without Step Monster. And if there's a backlog at the pediatrician's, I'm going to be sitting in that dumb chair all day. No thanks. I weigh my options. It's only a 15-minute walk home, but home isn't really home, and I don't want to be there any more than I want to be here. If I went to all the trouble of waking up and getting ready for school, then school is where I might as well be. My eyes return to Parker's schedule. Room 117. Well, okay, it's not my class, but it's a class. And really, who cares? It's not like I'm going to learn anything in the next 2 months. At least nothing I can't pick back up when I get back to civilization. I'm a pretty good student, and when Step Monster finally gets here, they can page me and send me to the right place. Not that I'll learn anything there either. I've already learned the one lesson Greenwich Middle School has to teach me. 14-year-olds shouldn't drive. And that's when I learned lesson number 2. This place is a maze. My school in LA is all outdoors. You step out of class and you're in glorious sunshine. You know where you're going to go next because you can see it across the quad. And the numbers make sense. Here, 109 is next to 111, but the room next to that is labeled Storage Closet E61B2. Go figure. I asked a couple of kids who actually try to tell me that there's no such room as 117. Well, there has to be, I tell the second guy. I'm in it. I show him the schedule, careful to cover the name with my thumb. Wait, his brow furrows. What's? He points to the class description. SCS 8. I blink. Instead of a normal schedule where you go to different classes every period, this says Parker stays in room 117 all day. Not only that, but under subject, it repeats the code SCS 8 for every hour except lunch at 12:08. Oh, here it is. I skip to the bottom. That's where a key explains the code, what the code means. SCS 8, self-contained special 8th grade class. He stares at me. The Unteachables? Unteachables? I echo. He reddens. You know, like the Untouchables? Only, babbling now. These kids aren't untouchable. They're, well, unteachable. Bye! He rushes off down the hall. And I just know. I could read it in his face, but I didn't even need that much information. Where would you stick a guy who could annihilate a backpack with a half-ton pickup truck? The Unteachables are the dummy class. We have a couple of groups like that in my middle school in California, too. We call them the Disoriented Express, but that's the same thing. Probably every school has that. I almost marched back to the office to complain when I remember. Well, I've got nothing to complain about. Nobody put me in the Unteachables, just Parker. And from what I'm seeing, yeah, he might be in the right place. I picture myself sitting in the office all day waiting for Step Monster to arrive. If she arrives. Chauncey's health scare, which happens roughly every 8 minutes, stress her out to the point where she can't focus on anything else. To quote Dad, "Geez, Louise," he really says that, an example of the sense of humor of the non-California branch of my family. So I go to room 117. Turns out it's in the far corner of the school, over by the metal shop, the home and careers room, and the custodian's office. You have to walk past the gym, and the whole hallway smells like old sweat socks mixed with a faint barbecue scent. It's only temporary, I remind myself, and since my whole time in Greenwich is temporary anyway, it's more like temporary squared. Besides, dummy class, Disoriented Express, Unteachable, so what? Okay, maybe they're not academic superstars, but they're just kids, no different from anybody else, even Parker. He's a menace to society behind the wheel of that truck, but besides that, he's a normal 8th grader, just like the rest of us. Seriously, how unteachable can these Unteachables be? I push open the door and walk into room 117. A plume of smoke is pouring out of the single open window. It's coming from the fire roaring in the wastebasket in the center of the room. A handful of kids are gathered round it, toasting marshmallows, skewered on the end of number 2 pencils. Parker is one of them.